I am the founder leader of the Motown's late 70s, early 80s group Switch, and wrote a few hits back in the day. I Call Your Name, I Want to Be Closer, They'll Never Be. Fortunately, being honored tonight, Rich Boy utilized a sample of Switch's I Call Your Name and created a thing called Throw Some D's, which became a big record last year. So I'm here picking up something I earned 30 years ago. Okay.
The wonderful thing is, a lot of us, we're not going to age ourselves.
Okay. Edit it out.
But a lot of us grew up on Switch and the Blige. Music has changed drastically since then. What are your thoughts on that?
I've got 1,000,001 thoughts. It depends on what moment you catch me and who I want to.
What do you think of the content of music and music and songwriting? Because you're a songwriter, that has changed over the years, kind of, sort of.
Quite frankly, as long as there's artistry in it, it's still good. It's still, of course, a lot of people will say, okay, it's not like it used to be. No, nothing's like it used to be. Everything changes over a period of time. I'll say this, though. There are some extremely talented, creative young people out here now doing the right thing with music that I applaud. Some of them, okay, leave that on the shelf, but the majority of them are doing great, and I applaud it all. I applaud the effort. I applaud the hope and the heart of it all, more so than anything.
I'm Carvin Higgins.
I'm Johnny Smith. Ivan Barrios.
And what is your, you all have your ASCAP award winners. What are you winning an award for tonight?
We're winning an award for Teach Me How to Love and Buddy, which is performed by Musiq Soulchild. Yes.
Now, how many other songs of Musiq Soulchild that we might be familiar with that have y'all done?
We pretty much produce every hit single he's ever had. Just Friends, Love, Half Crazy, Don't Change, Who Knows, and those are the ones that everybody
knows. Musiq Soulchild for, we wrote and produced basically.
So, okay, then what is the creative thing that y'all do? Because lyrics, I'm a big lyrics person myself. So when you're doing your lyrics, what's your inspiration?
God. God is the inspiration. Most of those records, if you take the girl out or the she out, you can place God in it, and that's what the song is about.
It's funny that you would say that, because there are a lot of gospel artists that use the song Love. Because when I first heard it, that was the first thing that immediately went to my mind was that this man is singing about, well, he could be singing about God. And either way, it still worked. And then my other favorite song is Just Friends, because bluntly, guys don't really want to be just friends too much anymore. So so that was one of my favorite songs. And then, are you doing more soundtracks? Because that song was on the Nutty Professor soundtrack.
Yes, yep. That was actually one of our first big looks to have it on the Nutty Professor soundtrack. It was the first introduction of what we do and how we do it. So it was a great moment for us.
And you have the distinction of producing for Mary J. Blige, right?
I did. I produced Take Me As I Am for Mary J. Blige.
Now, what inspired that song?
It was a culmination of a couple things, actually. It was more like my manager had called me up for late night, and she was like, listen, take an old Jay-Z sample and just make it huge for an artist. So, I took the best thing that I could find, which was the Dead President sample, and I just broke it down to an R&B record, and I just made it as big as possible.
Now, what was it like working with Mary J.?
To be honest with you, being a new producer at first, the record was done and it was sent off to Mary to cut the record, and the Clutch wrote it. So I haven't even met her, to be honest with you.
Well, that's good. At least you didn't try to, Hollywood be like, yeah, she's cool, and we have dinner a lot. But as a new producer, how hard is it to kind of to get that track or that song into an established artist like Mary J.?
I'd assume it's really hard, and depending on management and who you know, it's all about networks. You know what I mean? So as far as who you know, I think that they can slide it in. I think being a new producer, it was a great situation to win.
So what's next for you?
We're working right now with Bow Wow. We're trying to do some stuff for Fantasia, for Mario. We're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff. We're trying to get on every project that's pretty possible that's out right now. So
Well, thank you so much, and congratulations. Now, what is your distinction here tonight?
I'm a producer, songwriter, first of all musician, and I work with artists like Neo, Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole, 50, Eminem. I just enjoy music. I'm a music nerd. I'm a music nerd, and I love music, and I love how it affects people. When you're honest and when you're open and when you open your channels, when those artists come in the studio, you can really bless them with just good energy.
Now, you've listed a lot of R&B artists. Now, are you? Okay, well, I mean, but it's a cross section. What I'm getting at is, right now, in like, you know, hip hop is king right now. Do you think the pendulum will swing back to more good old R&B?
You know what? Music is changing in general. I think all these new artists are getting innovative, we're getting creative, and we're tapping into a new music that's always been there. I just tell people to stay inspired, you know, read, be educated, and just really take this music in as a whole and just put your heart and passion into it. It's one thing to sing, and it's another thing to be passionate.